Good morning, good morning, good morning.
Morning.
Hey everyone, welcome to Coffee Chats Unfiltered. Y'all, I have my coffee cup right here, and I'm almost embarrassed to have this one, but it's one that I have, and I'm going to show some support until they finish the season. But I haven't watched a single game. I can't take the disappointment, so.
Oh my God.
No, I can't. I'll just have to hear about it from people.
Have they won any?
I don't know, child. I haven't even kept up with it. I just can't take the disappointment. I just don't want to hear about it because to me, it's unfathomable that a team with a new coaches over the years, new players every year, never can win. They just don't win.
I've said it 1,000 times. I think they get paid to lose. I say it all the time. I say it all the time, and people look
That's
at me
what it
like I'm
seems
crazy, and
like,
I'm like,
though.
it can't be because they have some good players. I don't watch football,
Yes.
but what I hear, they have good players. They have good coordination and all that stuff. So I think they're getting paid to lose.
I agree with you on that. I think that really could possibly be what's going on. But
Mhm.
we are going to we did digress, but we're going to get back to the meat of today's discussion, guys. We are going to talk about something because we are getting into the holidays. We're going to talk about something that's really important, but we're first going to introduce ourselves. I'm Cynthia Merritt, and I am here. I've got some life experience, quite a bit of it, actually. I'm in my 60s, and I do have experiences and tips and tricks that I would like to share of mistakes that I've made along the way and things that you could probably learn from so you don't make those same mistakes and things that you can benefit from when I give tips in the same regard. So we're here with that coffee chat unfiltered, honey. And my co-host is
And good morning. I am Valerie Davis, and I am here also with life experiences and experiencing now. Things that I like to share that help me along the way, mistakes that I've made, things that I've learned from, things that that has taught me how to redirect my life. And things that I can share with others, and then also open to receive anything that help you. That's the whole point of this podcast is to help each other get through life because life is always lifing and it's going to be lifing until we're not here anymore. So let's just find easier ways to get through life and let's find it together. That's why I'm here.
Absolutely. And one of the main things we need right now, guys, with everything that's going on in the world right now, is community. So we need to be in community. And
Yes.
so this is a safe place. Come in. Please give us your feedback as well and suggestions and tips and tricks that you have on these topics that we're talking about.
Yes.
So today, we're talking about something that hits a lot of people, especially around the holidays. We've got Thanksgiving coming up in a couple of weeks, and a lot of people experience grief during the holidays. And that would start at the holiday season of Thanksgiving because so many people have big family gatherings. And once you start losing your family members, and Thanksgiving has that missing feeling of that person, sometimes it strikes people, really hard. And then you may have a spouse, like in my situation, I lost my spouse. So every Thanksgiving and Christmas, there's a big piece because we celebrated, my husband and I and our two sons, we celebrated, and I love to cook. Cooking is therapeutic for me. And so I love to throw down with the Thanksgiving dinner and all that kind of stuff. And I would throw down for a Christmas dinner and we would do all the things. And, it's just not the same. It's just not the same. And so I do still miss. And a lot of people do. And so we're talking about experiencing grief during the holidays.
Mhm.
So when we talk about that, first and foremost, I would like to suggest to everyone if you are feeling some type of way, some type of loss, some type of depression during this season, please seek out and speak to a therapist, if I can get that out, for professional help. So
Mhm.
you want to be guided, but you don't want to be guided just by, friends or people saying things. Some friends and people saying things can be helpful with their suggestions, but always if you're feeling in a low place, please seek out therapist and just talk to somebody in a professional arena because it might be something that you really might want to get a hold of and not let it go take you further and further down in the hole.
Mhm.
So the first thing I'm going to talk about is how we should just ease in. Just ease in if you're starting to feel down and depressed. And I know about this because I've been here, starting to feel down and depressed, because of that loss of that loved one. Just locate yourself, ease into your feelings. A lot of this work that we're talking about today is something that's going to come from within because that's where you're feeling it. You're feeling it within your soul, your heart. So locate you in the present moment. So if you have lost someone maybe a year ago, 10 years ago, 25 years ago, which is my case, but still the loss is there and you feel that person and something like with me, it's a good feeling now because I know his spirit is still with me.
Right.
But it's still a loss of the things, but just center and locate yourself within the present moment and,
Yeah.
and realize what you're feeling now and why you're feeling that now.
Mhm.
Um, think about what feels most present for you today
Mhm.
and how you've been carrying this loss all this time. How are you carrying it? Is it something that makes you depressed? Is it something that's a good feeling when you're, thinking of their remembrance? How are you carrying this? Because that's okay. That's a light carry. You're going to carry it if you've lost it. But if that's a good carry, if it's a good loss, but if it's depressing you, that's not a good loss. So think about how you're carrying it. And then is there a word or a specific image that describes where you are at this moment right now? So think about that. How am I feeling? Is there an image that is describing the feeling that I have right now? So
Mhm.
those are some things to think about. One of the main things you can do for someone, and this is interesting, how silence is okay. Silence is okay. Sometimes the pause is the work, just
Yeah.
being silent. Here, I remember this story. I love this story about the old man who his wife died. They've been married forever, and then his wife died, and then he would just come and sit out on his patio, his front porch every day and just sit there because he was lost without her. And then his little 5-year-old neighbor came over one day and sat down on the patio with him and just said absolutely nothing. And they sat there in silence for hours.
Mhm.
But it was the best therapy that he could get because what he felt was compassion from
Mhm.
this little 5-year-old boy
Yeah.
who said, I just want to be here. I don't know what to say. And his mind didn't even know the words at a 5-year-old, but he felt that he
Felt
needed to give him compassion.
Mhm. Mm.
Isn't that something, Val?
Well, like they say, silence is golden.
It
Silence
is.
is golden sometimes. Ah.
Absolutely.
And you know what, Cynthia, and I think about that, and like you're saying, you're grieving your husband for all these years, and it's still grief. So sometimes people are like, "Oh, well, you should be okay by now." We're okay, but the void is still there. So we're okay. So sometimes, just remembering and connecting with the memories of your loved one. Um, think of a purpose, make space to bring our loved ones into where we are right now, into the room. Um, How do you do that? What does that look like? What does that mean? What memories of your loved ones have been on your mind recently? When I make that statement, I think about, for me, for my mom, it's been almost 8 years now that my mom passed away, and I took care of her for a very long time. So, and recently, and this happens all the time when I get closer to the holidays, I start thinking of her more often. I can hear her telling me things. I can see something or do something that reminds me of her, and it's just really funny. Someone can mention a word. I'm like, oh, my mom used to say that or do that or whatever. So those memories like coming together right now are really good. And it's really helpful for me to get me through that. So, what memories of your loved one have been on your mind recently? Cherish that memory, embrace it, make it into an add it into a new memory that you can create without that loved one being here.
Mm.
you know how do you feel, how do you feel their presence or their absence showing up in your daily life? Now, I can say to you, I can feel the presence often, and when I get troubled, like I said earlier, I can hear my mom giving me some type of advice or something. And then I can hear her say, "Girl, sit your behind down." So then that means be still. You're doing too much. Your mind is all over the place. I can hear it just as clear. Sit down. So what presence do you feel from that loved one? And just wait to feel it. If you're not too sure if you are feeling it or you don't know what it seems like, trust me, it will come. And that's when you have that connection. That's when you have the memories of that loved one. You remembering things, and most times it's not remembering anything bad. It's always good, right? Um, Also, when you're thinking about the connection and the memories and the purpose, is there a story? Is there a story or a quality about the loved one that you'd like to share with our support group or a therapist? If you want to share that with someone, then you do so. You get it out, it feels better. Get it out. Share that. Even if you go to your therapist, like Cynthia was talking about earlier, everyone at some point needs a therapist, honey. I have one at 54. I've had one for a little over 9 years.
That's
And
wonderful.
yeah, it's remarkable for me.
Mhm.
It
Mhm.
is. And I think back, I'm like, God, all I had to do was open up to someone that knew a little bit more than me, and it could have made my journey a whole lot easier. Found it out late in age, but hey, it's helpful. So if you have that loved one, if you don't have a therapist and you have someone that you trust, a support group or a minister, a pastor, or just a really good friend that you want to open up and share those quality stories about that loved one, that is going to be beneficial. It's going to be helpful. It's going to be helpful in a way that now you get to release what you're feeling. You get to release all those emotions. You get to release and understand that it's not just you. Sometimes people say, I hate this term when people say misery loves company. I don't really
Mhm.
like that term, but people say it a lot. But
Mhm.
when you're going through grief, you're going to need some company. So from that standpoint, you need someone that can relate to what you're
Mhm.
going through and that can assist you and help you in many ways. And sometimes it's the silence, like Cynthia said with the little boy and the older man. It's just the silence of someone just being there that's here to comfort you and just want to be there with you. Sometimes it can just be someone just sitting there, someone just holding your hand, someone just making jokes to make you laugh. You laugh so much until you cry. That's a relief, right?
Mhm.
Sometimes it's just having conversation off the wall that you don't even know what you're even talking about and why you're talking about it. But hey, it makes you feel better,
Mhm.
right? So yeah, so sometimes just, you want to seek out that help, but you want to have that remembering and connection of that loved one to help you get through the holiday time, because trust me, it's needed and it is helpful. Okay. So what are alternatives? Maybe viewing their loved one's photo or simply just listening. I look at my mother's pictures. I have my mom's picture on my phone. And even with me sitting on the couch, it's a picture of my mom right next to me. I keep it with me all day, every day. Um, I listen to the songs that she used to love to listen to, the scriptures. I read them daily, especially during the holiday time. But what are some alternatives that can help you get through?
Yeah.
So what are some things that you do at this point, Cynthia, that helps you get through the holiday season?
I look at a lot of my husband's photos that we have with our family. And it just makes me smile when I see him, especially within the family pictures that we have and things that we were doing, activities and things like that. His personality seems to jump off of the photo. And everyone who knew him, they always said, "Oh, Kel never met a stranger." I mean, everyone. He was just. I have to say, yeah, I'm going to say this right here, and this is true.
Mhm.
Sometimes, um, sometimes when you meet someone, you don't know why God has you with people, and I have to say that my husband was actually the best human being I have ever met in my life.
Oh,
His spirit, and my sons can tell you that his spirit was just golden.
see.
And and when we would argue, I say this because it's so interesting.
Hmm.
When we would argue when he was alive, I would always say to him, I think I only met you. I think God only let me meet you so I can meet your parents. And that was meant to cut him down and make him feel bad. But I really think that it was true, Val.
Hmm. Hmm.
Because as soon as he passed, it was like my in-laws adopted me as their daughter that they
Hmm.
never had. And
Hmm.
it's like, and we have a relationship to this day, and I've known them since 1988. That is like a parent, father and a mother and a daughter.
Hmm.
And my brother-in-law, we act like brother and sister. And I really do believe because God knows the outcome of everybody's life.
Yes, yes.
And I truly believe God placed
Hmm.
me in that position to meet him so that I could literally meet his parents.
God knows what you need when you need it, and
Girl,
He
I
does
know.
it.
Hmm.
Oh my
But
goodness.
yeah, so and we think about the emotions and the expressions.
Hmm.
And for me, we just have to normalize the feelings, whether they be expected or unexpected feelings, and what emotions that you're feeling. What are some of the emotions, Val, that have surprised you in your grief of your mom that have
Well, now that's kind of funny. My emotions sometimes be all over the place.
okay.
So far this year, um, I've been juggling them a bit better. Um, so my emotions are I'm now the one that's making sure that the family is okay. No, we're gonna get together this year. It doesn't matter, mommy isn't here. And I know you're feeling it, but we're gonna do it because this is what she wants. So my emotions, I feel like right now they're a little bit stronger. Um, um, I'm happier, and I'm happy because I think of what they taught me, what my parents have taught me. And and then also I found love again. So I
Mm,
found love in someone that is pouring into me, that's helping me
mm,
understand and helping me move through. Well, I hear you talk about your parents, I hear you talk about your mom a lot. Then would you think your mom would just want you to feel this way? Do you think so? It's helping me kind of get my emotions together.
mm.
And that's unexpected to me.
Okay.
Because I thought by now I would be off my rocker like I have been for the past couple of years,
Hmm.
up and down, up and down, up and down. But right now, at this moment, at what is it, at 9:25 a.m. on 11/9/2025, I feel good and I feel strong and I feel like I can help my siblings and nieces and nephews. I feel like I can be helpful to them. And I
Okay.
think by me listening, looking at the pictures, listening to the songs, hearing her voice, um, I think my emotionally, I think I'm fine. I feel that I'm fine as of this moment in the
No,
present.
that's wonderful.
Yeah.
And look at what help how helpful it is to have a supportive partner in your life.
Yes. Yes.
That's amazing. That is amazing. And one thing about emotion that I recall after my husband passed, it was like I didn't really go into grieving to where it made me feel sad or something, thinking about his loss. I had to go into immediately, I had to take short term disability because I was so messed up because
Hmm.
it wasn't a planned death and he was only in his 30s.
Hmm.
And so we had just started our family. And so I took short-term disability. I needed that time. I took 6 weeks off from my job, and I would go out to the park every day and walk around and talk to him and put together a strategy for
Yes.
how I was going to raise our sons by myself,
Hmm.
single mom. And so that's what I did. The emotion that came up to me in this moment is it was weird, but it was motivation
Hmm.
because I was motivated to figure out how I was going to do this.
Exactly.
And the strategic and all that kind of stuff came up. So that's what I did. And it was really interesting to see it wasn't laughter or it wasn't sadness. It was just for me, strategy, figuring out
Strategy.
what to
You had to
do.
go. You was on go. You was on ready.
Yes.
Yeah, you got to kick into survival mode
Yeah.
because that extra support, that loving support, is not there. So I
Right.
totally get that. I understand that. And when you were talking about grief in your body and how you became ill, I can understand that. I can think back to when my mom passed away. Um, I have a minor heart disorder, and during that time, everything just seemed like it just started like whoosh.
Mm.
Everything it took affected me from a health standpoint. I'm like, well, and I was still trying to go back to work. I was like, I'm concerned about my job, still trying to work. I was a contractor, and
Mhm.
they're like, you got to take care of yourself.
Yes.
You can't take care of yourself by coming back to work. You got to realize what just happened, and you
Mhm.
got to take time to grieve. And sometimes we just jump into it,
Yeah.
and our bodies aren't ready for it, and our
Mm.
bodies will tell us what we're not ready for. And as I'm stating this out loud now, I actually feel that one of my coworkers is going through the same thing right now. She
Mm.
too took care of her mom passed away, and she just jumped back right into work. And I can tell that some days she just don't feel well,
Mm.
you know. So
Mm.
that
Mm.
that grief and body thing is totally real.
Wow, that's true. That is so true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's something, but something
Mhm.
everybody got to think about when you're going through something like that. Take time
Mhm.
for yourself.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, but just thinking about too, moving forward at this
Mhm.
point, looking at the meaning and forward movement,
Mhm.
always looking help others too when people are in value. You just said that you've got someone that you know of that's experiencing this. We've got to reach out and help others.
Mhm.
But one thing I do find that I see people doing sometimes, and I've heard it on the other end of
Mhm.
people who were recipients of this type of conversation, and that it should be at a point now, like some people think that, well, I feel like I have closure at this point in my life, 25 years, but I feel like I have closure, and I'm in a happy place, about not a happy place, but a place of being fine with it,
Mhm.
because it is what it is. It was a loss, and I have good feelings about it. However, some people push people to closure, and no one can tell anyone how long is an acceptable amount of closure when they lose a loved one. Closure is different for absolutely every individual. And it takes as long as it needs for you to take to be okay in that loss. So, Val, how has loss changed you and how you see yourself in your life?
I'm so glad you made that statement, Cynthia, that no one can tell you how long. Loss has changed. It made, you know what? It made me love life even more. It
Mm,
made me understand that you always hear, don't put off today what you can but don't put off tomorrow what you can do today.
Yes.
I really understand it because not the next day is not promised, the next second is not promised, the next minute, the next hour isn't promised. And even though I knew about death when my mom passed away, because I had lost my dad, I had lost two brothers previous before that, prior to that, but it seemed like it really kicked in for real. Like, whoa, this is really real. This is no more. You
Mm,
don't get to have a do-over. You don't get to come back. You don't get to say things anymore. You don't get to hear things or do things again. I'm like, man, this is real.
mm,
I felt so lost.
mm.
And yet I learned to love everybody that is connected to me. I learned to forgive and forget. I'm like, honey, I don't even know why we're not speaking right now, but it doesn't even matter. I'm reaching out to you to see how you are and talk to you. Now, once I put myself out there for that, it's up to you what you do with it. But I learned that connection is key. I learned that life is good. I learned that to try, even though we say don't stress, but we say try not to stress. I put more emphasis on that. I
Mm,
focus on what's happy, what's good. And girl, when I tell you is I've grown closer to God and Lord Jesus, I pray and I'm so thankful. I'm so grateful. I'm so appreciative to just know who he is. Because that's what my mom would say. She said, you
mm,
got to know who he is for yourself, not what somebody else says and not what you heard. So that loss has moved me closer to
mm.
where I ever thought I would be. Um, it's a remarkable feeling.
Wow, that I'm so glad you shared that because that is remarkable, I have to say, because everyone does not get that lesson. And you got that lesson from your experiencing your grief about unforgiveness and forgiveness, forgiving everyone, and just don't sweat the small stuff, and that's paramount. That
Oh,
really is, because that's what we should be doing anyway. And
mm,
so if that comes from a lesson that you learned via grief,
yeah.
that's
Yeah,
awesome.
baby.
Yeah.
That's the best thing to learn, and that helps me get through my life daily, coping, moving forward,
Mhm.
and then teaching others. I have nephews that still have a hard time with Granny not being here.
Mhm.
And they go through it. They're like, man, but she was the rock, she was strong. I said, y'all keep saying she was the rock, she was strong. I said, yes, she was, but she birthed even stronger rocks. So
Yes.
we can't bring mommy back. But what we have is this family that's full, that's Mason Strong. And we say that we got shirts that say Mason Strong. So
Okay.
we got Mason Strong women and men in this family. This name means a lot. This name holds weight. So remember that. So when
Yeah.
you think that you're shaking or you're gonna break or you can't do something, think about that. Think about what Granny has instilled in you guys. Think about what she put into us and keep going.
That's her
Get
legacy.
knocked down.
Yes.
That's her legacy. You're gonna
Yes.
get knocked down. You know why? Because mom used to always say you can't hold everything. So when you try to hold everything, what's gonna happen is gonna bring you down. So you got to learn to let things go at different levels. So let those things go at different levels so you can continue to rise up and keep your head up.
Oh,
Remember
I love
that.
it. She
Remember that.
was such a wise woman.
Oh, baby, she was. I mean, when I tell you she put some things in this earth, she
Wow.
birthed some things, birthed some people.
Yes.
And it's just like, and so that's what we have to tell them. And it's ironic, the girls feel it, but it's more so of the
To me.
male.
Okay.
It's
Okay.
more so of the males. And then, then they get those, like, okay, well, I can do this, I can do this. I'm doing this for Granny, I'm doing this for Granny. If
Mhm.
that's what you need to say, if that's what you need to hold on to,
Mhm.
then do it.
Yes. Oh, I love it.
Do it. Be
Mhm.
like Nike, just do it.
Yes, just that's it. And it's that simple. Just do it, because we know that's what we need to be doing.
That's
But
it. That's
just yeah, it's not keeping forward. So once we know that we need to keep forward or just do it,
Mhm.
if that's what we need to do. Don't just worry about not rushing the grief out and trying to get to closure and things like that. Just do what it is that
Mm.
you're feeling you need to do to experience the grief. And then just let it naturally come out.
Mhm.
It will. Over time, it's going to work itself out, but then you're going to be at a peace. with that loss.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a good thing, but you can't rush it. So just do it. Like Val just said, just do it. Just go forward. Just keep moving forward, pushing forward. Keep hearing that loved one speaking those words of encouragement and motivation to you and embracing you the way they always did. Keep that in your mind and your spirit, and that's going to take you through.
That's right. And you know what? When this holiday,
Mm-hmm.
it's known as a routine that you get together, right? It's
Mm-hmm.
it's a family gathering, it's a family ritual. So try to keep those things together. When people try to disperse and do something different, say, okay, I don't mind creating something new. I don't mind making new memories, but let's still figure out how we can do these things together.
Yeah.
Um, like with our family, I said, well, you guys, mommy wanted to travel and she never did. So um one of the holidays, may it be Thanksgiving or Christmas, choose one and let's just go somewhere during the holiday,
Mm-hmm.
spend it together. We
In her
still
honor.
together, but
Mm-hmm.
let's just do it in her honor and make new memories as if she was there.
Yeah.
So some of them are okay with it and some of them are not. I said, okay, well, if we don't want to do that for Thanksgiving or Christmas, you don't want to do it during New Year's, so let's just do it during the month, during November or December. Maybe not on those days,
The
but let's do
holiday.
something that's different. So,
Okay.
so I know that we're gonna spend Thanksgiving at one of my oldest niece's houses, and she reared in the house with us. So my mom raised her pretty much as well, while her parents were in military and all that stuff.
Okay.
We're having Thanksgiving dinner at her house. Well, one of my brother's oldest sons called. Today is Sunday, on Thursday, and said, "Hey, I would like for you guys to come to Thanksgiving at my house because I have a new home. I want you guys to come." This is during the month of Thanksgiving. Thank you for the offer, and we love that. But this had
Right.
already been pretty pre-planned back in June how we were going to do things for now. So now I'm like, oh my God! So that means these set of nieces and nephews are not going to be able to come, and it's like,
Mhm.
oh my God! And I started to get a little worried yesterday, and I said, how can I divide myself up into these nieces and nephews' home, and then this niece home? And my fiance said, you can't.
Mhm.
You already made obligations for this niece. It's not
Mhm.
that you don't want to be there, you just
Right.
can't be there. So now you just got to figure out, okay, you probably can't spend this time with them on Thanksgiving Day. Maybe you
Mhm.
can go a couple of hours on Thanksgiving Eve or maybe the day after Thanksgiving, but just trying to make it work because this is the time where everybody is not going to be in the same place like it always has been.
Mm.
And that's going to be different for us.
Right.
Yeah. So yeah, so we just gotta find ways. Um, you can switch up the routine sometimes, but just find a way that it will be okay with you and get through it.
Mhm. Mhm.
You
And
know?
and I excuse me, wanted to ask a question too because your family's so big.
Hmm.
Do you guys have an annual family reunion?
We used to have annual, now we do every 2 years. Okay,
Okay,
so
okay,
this
okay,
is what we do. We do every 2 years for the annual family reunion on my dad's side because we're much bigger than on my mom's side. So my
okay,
mom's side, we call it Family and Friends Day. So we just do one day every year.
okay,
Family Friends Day every year.
okay,
And we normally go down home, which is McRae, Georgia, and we
okay,
meet at the park. And this is what we say. Every family member that's coming, we tell them to bring two two food dishes
okay,
and a drink of their choice.
okay.
You know me, I'm always in charge of all the games for the kids and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And that park is filled with people. Oh my God. There'll be so much food out there. And it's just little prep and everybody just shows up and oh God, they just love it. We
Oh,
all love it. One of my aunts, she is 76 and she stays in the kitchen cooking all day for us for that one day.
really?
Yes. Yes.
You know what? You know what that makes me think of?
What?
The picnic scene on Poetic Justice
They didn't they just happen
at
to
the
just go up
park.
to these people?
You know when Maya Angelou and them were out there?
Yes, yes,
That was
yes,
a big
yes.
family reunion in that park.
girl.
And it looked like it was so much fun. They had games playing because people were
Mm.
playing cards, volleyball, everything.
Oh my God, I love it.
I
And I
know.
just want to say this too really quickly.
Okay.
When my oldest brother passed away in 2019, a year after my mom, my siblings and I started doing these things. We'll say we're gonna get mommy's kids and grandkids once a month get together and play kickball, volleyball, or something like that. So we did that and we were going really strong. So then the individuals in our hometown, McCray, they're like, well, hey, we want to be involved too. People from Jacksonville, Florida, they want to be involved too. So that's how we came up with Family and Friends
Oh,
Day
okay.
after my brother passed away, by us just getting together, just going to different parks here in Atlanta and then having it on social media and people would see it. It's like, hey, we want to be involved. We're family. We want to do this too. So
Hmm.
instead of doing it once a month, we now just do it once a year, Family and Friends Day.
Okay.
So so my son is like, well, we can do that, but I kind of miss just, just all Granny's kids all together. I said, okay.
Hmm.
So we can go back to doing that too, once a month.
Yes,
Once a month.
absolutely.
They're very competitive. I'm not, but they're very competitive.
But I love the spirit. I love the spirit of it.
Oh, yes.
So, so let me ask you this. So, how do you plan to care for yourself going forward when it comes to thinking about your mom?
I'm going to take some time for myself, some self-care. And
Hmm.
self-care to people may be different. My self-care would be sitting down, relaxing, doing absolutely nothing because my mind goes 25,000 miles a second. So my time is to sit down and not do anything. Do my own facials,
Mm.
polish my own nails, not going out to get anything done. I just need it
Right.
for me.
Do it yourself.
Um, Make something simple to eat, maybe like some comforting soup or something like that. Watch movies, just give myself that time. May it be for 1 day or 2 days. Watch a lot of the older Tyler Perry plays. Used to love watching those. I
Okay.
can, and even now we've been trying to search for them so that we can watch them. But do something like that for myself
Yes.
to just remember her,
Hmm.
honor her, feel her presence, and just be okay with moving through.
Mm. No, I love it.
That's going to be my self-care day. That's how I'm going to do it.
Okay.
What would you do, Cynthia? How does that look for you?
So I do what because always so busy and like you said, my mind is going at 250,000 miles an hour. And so and I have to stop it and slow it down. I also stopped getting my nails done. I do my own. I have gel. Girl, I even bought the LED light. I put my hands under the things and dry them here. And so I'm like, okay. But yeah, so I take care of myself, and I do a lot of breath work. And one of my most calming activities is to just sit back, and I love my Hallmark movies and
Yes.
watch a Hallmark movie and these Christmas movies.
Oh God, yes.
Oh my goodness.
Mhm.
It just calms me down. It brings me to a happier space. It does because they always end well.
They do.
And so,
But you know what though? I also go back to the old ones, the Charlie Brown's
oh,
Imitation of Life. Remember that movie?
yes.
You have to
Oh,
see that every
yes.
you got to. If you don't watch that every Christmas, something's wrong.
I know. And yeah, and It's a Wonderful Life with Jimmy Stewart.
Yes.
Yeah, I love watching that one too. And I love watching Scrooge,
Oh
the
my
old
God. You
black
know what?
and
I
white
do too.
Scrooge.
I do too. I do too.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, girl.
Mm-hmm.
See, that's all the good stuff.
Yeah,
That's when everything was so simple
exactly.
and you know how it was
Exactly.
gonna end and it just melts your heart.
Mm-hmm. Just
Now,
watching them go through the motions.
exactly. Exactly. Now I'll have my popcorn, but I gotta have my melted cheese with it, girl. I gotta dip my popcorn in my cheese and eat it. I gotta
Now
have
that's interesting. I have never heard of that, Val. You take
even when you go
popcorn and dip it in cheese?
yes, yes. Even when you go to the movies, they'll have the little cheese packs, the little things, and I'll get my
Really?
And when I go to the grocery store, I'll get the jalapeno cheese. It's over there with the chips and the sour cream and all that. I'll
Hmm.
get the jalapeno cheese,
Hmm.
and I'll get a pack of plain Lay's chips or either popcorn, and I'll dip it in there. That's how I eat my chips and my popcorn, with that cheese, and it is so good.
Wow.
Mhm.
I have never in my life heard of that, Val. That
Try
is,
it. It is so good.
I'll have to try that. I've never heard of that. Okay, I'm gonna try it.
And keep you some napkins with you, because you know your little fingers
It's
gonna
gonna
get.
be a mess.
Yeah, but I'm
Yeah.
like, it's so good.
Hmm.
It's so good. That's
Now,
my
what
day.
another thing I love with potato chips, and we could do a whole segment on different foods, honey. But with potato, I love Lay's potato chips crunched in vanilla ice cream.
Now, I've done that, and that is good. Just like French fries and vanilla ice cream.
Well, I'm sure it's the same taste.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes. Okay. Well, all right now. But yeah, so we know people are grieving, and some of these snacks may help with some of the grief
I
too.
know, right?
But don't overdo it, y'all, because we ain't
Mm-mm.
trying to get nobody having to lose weight for what they
Mm-mm.
gained with the grief.
Exactly. Eat the snacks, but be careful with
Be
it.
careful. Yeah,
Don't
yeah.
y'all go out there and say, Cynthia and I said, eat all
I
the chips you want, don't you go say
don't eat
that.
all this stuff.
That's what we said.
I know, I know.
Oh,
But,
oh my
yeah.
goodness. This segment
So
is so
Val, do
good.
you have any special words for us today?
I just want to put out a simple little prayer for those that are grieving. God, I thank you for holding the hearts, holding the minds. Thank you for holding the memories. Thank you for giving the push that's needed, the silence that is warranted. And thank you for holding and keeping each and every one of us, get us through this holiday season and all the others to come with no regret. Help us all get through. And even God, those that have just lost someone today, yesterday, last week, as I know a few people, God, this is something new for them. Give them all that they are missing. Give them all that they're needing. God, give them glory, from clouds of glory to grounds to glory. Lord, we thank you in the name of Jesus. Amen.
Amen. And we're lifting everybody up who will
Yes.
experience loss
Mhm.
on Thanksgiving Day and Christmas Day, because there will be some people who will. And so
Yes.
we just lift everyone up in
Mhm.
prayer and ask for strength for them and their comfort and peace for them and their loved ones. Thank you
Yeah.
so much, Val. Y'all, thanks for stopping by today. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. All three of those things. Coffee cups up, y'all. Have a great day.
Thank you.
Bye.